John Krokidas. John.
I can project. Okay, so there are a couple people
No. Is it on? Oh, that's much better. Okay, first off, as you all know, how many of you are in this industry here? Or want to be in the industry? A good amount of you. It's getting so hard in the studio culture right now to find people who will take a chance on voices that are a little original, or want to be original, unique, and stories that you haven't seen a million times before. And so, now more than ever, I want to introduce you to probably the most important person in this room, the person who gave me my shot and who actually paid for it. Michael Benaroya, get up here. Come here, Michael. You gave me my chance, Michael, and I promise I'll never forget it. And let's get the rest of the producers up here. Rose, Christine, come on up, come on up. So this film was shot in 24 shooting days. Most of the scenes you saw up there were shot in the space of 2 hours, and sometimes we didn't even get coverage. I literally, because of my cinematographer, where is she? Reed Morano. There she is. Because of Reed Morano, we would get 3 shots in one. We would literally just not cut the camera in order to get the scene covered. But I feel like for me, the cinematography is not just, she didn't just follow the actors in the right place. She created a piece of lyric beauty. Get up here, Reed. Come on. Come on. And not only does she make beautiful images, look at her. She's fucking beautiful herself. Speaking of beautiful, where's Stephen Carter? Stephen, the production designer. No money, 1944. First big film, guys. This is his first one. Stephen, come on, get up here. This was a friends and family effort. The editor of this film was a friend of mine from film school. We've known each other for almost 15, 16 years. I know I'm dating you, I'm sorry. You can tell IMDb you're younger tomorrow. Brian Cates, come on. What a fantastic job, come here. Christopher's not here, is he? Then, Austin. My best friend, my co-writer, the troublemaker who started this with me. Come on up. Come on, Austin. He created 1940s period slang. I still can't believe it. Ear job.
John.
Yeah?
You're going to run out of Q&A time if you
don't
ask them.
Well, then there's some other people I want to introduce you to. I'm blessed to have what I think could be the best cast I might ever have in my entire life. Yeah. Where are they? Where are they? Michael, get out here. Michael sing all, everybody. Boardwalk Empire, he took off the mask for this film, the amazing Jack Huston. Get on up here. No, that was not William Burroughs on screen. That was actually Ben Foster. Ben, come on out. And my boys. Dane, where are you? Dane, DeHaan, get out here. I would call Dane the best up-and-comer in the world, but I don't have to anymore. He's the Green Goblin. You made it, Dane. My cohort in this entire thing, my muse, the person who gave me the courage to keep on going and direct, even though it was tough, and who taught me just as much as I taught him, Daniel Radcliffe.
questions for this group? Can't see a hand right here.
Oh, yeah. I guess this isn't like really a question. I was wondering if you could maybe go a little bit about the process of casting the film and how you actually settled on all your wonderful actors that you did.
It's about the process of casting the film and how he settled on the wonderful actors that he did.
First off, just look at them. I'm lucky. I am. A lot of these people are people that I dreamed of working with and actually wrote down on a piece of paper I dreamed to work with one day. Daniel Radcliffe was an idea I had when, in the middle of the night, I was making a list of all the young actors under 30 who I really admired. And I thought about this role of Allen Ginsberg, and I thought, okay, he starts off at the film as a dutiful son, as somebody who kind of spends his whole life taking care of other people and only showing people one part of himself. But by the end of this movie, he has all of those emotions that he's been repressing at the beginning, all of those voices, colors that his family didn't know about, that no one could expect. And by the end of the movie, is a poet and a rebel. I had a feeling Dan might be able to relate to this. And within 5 minutes on our first meeting, I pretty much knew the role was his. Christine Vachon had to stop me. Do not offer him the role in the room. I mean, Dane, come on. Dane, we did chemistry reads. You want to say something?
I will say something about Dane's audition just to embarrass him. He was the first person in on the day that we were on that day, and it was just like no one else stood a chance. After we'd seen him, it was just amazing. Like me and John came out of the room and were just, again, having to like calm ourselves down about how excited we were. So I'd just like to add that.
And so Dan kills it with the audition. And at the end of it, Dan and I just kind of look at each other like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I turn to Dane and I'm like, so what are you doing in the next 3 months? He goes, I don't know, you tell me. Done, sold. I mean, Ben, come on, I've dreamed of working with Michael and Ben since 6 Feet Under. The fact that both of them are so versatile can slip completely into another role. I mean, look at Ben Foster's work. What I love about him is there's nothing he's afraid of doing. What? Oh. Did that answer your question? As I said, Ben is not afraid of doing anything. Next question.
Question for Michael.
I met with John probably 2 years before I was actually offered the role. You know, the film was up for possibly happening, and it took a long time. And it was one time where I looked the director in the eye and I said, "Don't be an idiot. Give me this part." I went through fascination with the beats when I was in my 20s, and I was aware of this story. I was lucky enough to meet Allen Ginsberg in the early 90s, and I thought it was such a phenomenal script. It was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Same question.
Oh.
Gosh, that never, ever happens. Don't worry, I think everyone else wants to talk to you. Well, this movie was really special, I guess, from the beginning. You know, the script is really incredible, and you know, spending some time with John made me really want to work with him. And you know, when I came on board, Dan was already attached to the movie, which made it a whole lot easier to get excited about it. And then as we kind of pushed forward in the process, we, you know, having done this a few times, actually got our first choice for pretty much all the roles, which is just never happens. So, you know, we're just so thrilled that we got to work with all these great actors, and you know, this is a really special cast.
If I could just add something to that.
Another question.
Next question.
Oh, right here in the
Come
front.
on, come on,
Right here
who's
in the
got a
front.
question?
Right here in the front. Yes, you. How did it feel to have your hair permed for this role?
That was kind of Dane and I's first bonding day together. Was we went to the salon together. We did, and Dane got, what did you?
I got blonde hair.
Blonde hair, and I got a perm. And I at the time still had a large amount of hair, and so I did come out with like an afro. But it was great. I actually grew rather fond of it. The stuff did stink, but not as much as the good follow-up. But not as much as the relaxer to get it straight afterwards. That smelled worse.
Now that we've handled that pressing question, you over here.
Austin? Come on over here. Austin brought the story to me. I mean, the two of us loved the beats in college for many reasons. Like a lot of college students, they were the rebels. They were the adolescents who said, like in this movie, we're going to go create a movement, and then they actually did. And Austin came to me, he's a journalist and a playwright, and said, John, well, I'm going to tell my story first, then you tell your version. He said, John, I want to write a play about this murder. And as he told me the story, I was like, looked at him, gave him the Jedi mind eye trick. I said, no, you're not. You're going to write this as a screenplay, and I'm going to teach you how to write it. And that's really how the process began. Am I right or wrong?
It might have started as a tone poem or something, a poem about a poet. I mean, most people who read the beats, if you read the Kerouac back catalog, and even any of the bios, the Kammerer material is all over the place. So it wasn't that hard, and of course, the other things have come out since we started working on this story, like And the Hippos Are Boiled in Their Tanks, which is effectively the same kind of narrative, but told in a really different way. So,
but the one thing is, this isn't all the biographies, but it's one paragraph, and it's always the same. It's like the Manchurian Candidate. The relationship between David Kammerer and Lucien Carr was very vague, and in an attack, and there's nothing filling in between the lines. And, you know, Peter Hale from the Ginsberg Estates here can answer some of the history questions if people are interested, but from what I know, Lucien stayed friends in this weird kind of codependent relationship with Alan all the way to the end, and he kept anyone, even though they all wrote about it, from telling the story publicly. Allen Ginsberg actually waited to publish his journals in which he wrote this story, in which he wrote about the murder until Lucien passed away. Peter, correct me if I'm wrong later. So for us, it was a murder that unites three of your heroes and nobody's told the story before. I thought that was pretty exciting.
We have time for one more. I mean, you were very quick. Oh, she's going for it.
That's actually the second time I've been asked that exact question tonight. Somebody said to me earlier, you kind of like weird stuff. Is that why you chose this? Not really. Basically, it was the script. I mean, the script is fantastic. I mean, that's, ultimately that's all you can base a choice on. That's what it came down to. And then I met with John, and, as you can see, he's got this fantastic energy without which this film would not have been made. And it was a joy and a privilege to actually get to be a part of it and work with all of these guys. And I would just like to say, because I know we're going to get kicked out, a massive, huge thank you to everybody who worked on the film and just put in crazy hours for 24 days. Films like this don't get made unless everyone involved loves them, and everyone did. So thank you, everybody.
Good job. Thank you, guys.